they have a bell around their neck, and they will release the rats into the cargo to sniff around, and once they find something, they will the rats know to just hit the bell or pull it, and that alerts that they have found illegal materials.
I'm Evie Kenny, this is Ecolution, and today we're sharing our good news stories when it comes to climate action. Today, we're hoping to counteract the doom and gloom with some environmental stories to celebrate. It could be anything from an upcycled Deb's dress to a peachy keen beach clean. Now, that's a phrase you don't want to say too quickly 5 times. Thank you, scriptwriters. We're joined by our panel of young people from across the environmental spectrum.
Hello, my name is David Ryder. I'm 14 years old and I'm a member of the Children and Young People's Assembly on Biodiversity Loss.
My name's Dana Mann-Lagnett. I'm 17 years old and I'm a climate ambassador.
Hi, my name is Mara Sheridan. I'm 18 years old and I'm part of the ISSN.
Hi everyone, my name is Arjun Gambhir. I'm 16 years old and I'm part of FICO UNESCO.
First, let's go to one of our listeners who has their own good news angle.
Hi, I'm Alia, and my good news story is that you can do something good in your school like we did here. We bought 200 trees and sold them to students to plant in their gardens. We also do cycle safety so that students can cycle to school instead of wasting petrol in their car. We also got solar panels so that we can use solar electricity instead of burning gas. What's your good news story?
Let's start with Arjun. Have you got any upbeat stories of climate action?
Right, so I was recently at the UNESCO Young Environmentalist Award, where I represented my project, I Grow, and my book, Ireland's Winds of Change. And the entire atmosphere in the entire hall was completely surreal. The students were all passionate about changing the climate towards the gooder side of things. And that was highly inspiring for me, highly empowering for me to do better than what's expected of me as well. Being able to see that there are people who are similar to me working towards the environment and working towards making Earth a better place for the entire humanity felt really welcoming and felt really warm. And I really appreciated the entire team of Eco UNESCO for creating more opportunities for the youth to share their voices and also creating a sense of warm community among all those who are climate advocates.
Yeah, and Dana, have you seen anything that can give you cause to hope?
Recently on April 5th, the National Youth Assembly on Climate for 2025 took place, and there were young people there from nearly every county in Ireland, I'm pretty sure, and they all got together and they discussed their recommendations, and I was actually involved in organising it. So we had the evaluation meeting a couple of days ago, and it was just incredible looking back on the meeting, on the assembly, and just seeing how everyone was there for the same cause. They all were thinking about taking action and voicing their concerns on the climate crisis. And it just felt really hopeful to me that there is a group of people there, a group of young people there that want to voice their concerns and take action and fight against the climate crisis.
For our lives. Any good news for us?
Recently, as a sort of almost kind of link, but similar to with the Children and Young People's Assembly on biodiversity loss, we'd created a list of about 58 calls to actions, and as a result of that, about 7 of us were given an opportunity to speak at a Oireachtas committee meeting on the climate and climate change, and at that we got to talk our ideas and to respond and ask questions to the Oireachtas committee members, which I found was quite, it was unique because we actually got to have our voices heard, not for the first time obviously, but it was something quite important. And also through that as well, we also learned that about nearly all of our suggestions actually were either being put into were being planned to be put into law or into decrees, or else they were already put in, and I think only about 2 of them actually did not get to be put in.
Amazing. That's incredible to hear that so much of it was listened to. Mara, what has left you with a bit of a spring in your step when it comes to climate action?
Well, I have a bit of a random one for you. I have a story about large African rats in Tanzania, and how they are helping to eliminate the illegal trade of elephant ivory and of like rhino horns. So basically, they're just like a larger type of rat, and they're actually quite intelligent. And there is workers, and they're training them to detect these illegal substances. So basically, they have like a bell around their neck, and they will release the rats into the cargo to sniff around. And once they find something, they will like the rats know to like just like hit the bell or pull it, and that alerts that they have found illegal materials. And it's also like I think that it's 90% accuracy. So it's amazing work, and it's a great use of some people kind of have a negative attitude towards rats, but it's just really cool, and it's like animals and humans working together. And like the illegal trade in Africa, it's like worth up to 20 billion euros. It's really awful, and authorities say that it's a bit of like a game of cat and mouse. And they're like, well, if we're going to play cat and mouse, here's a rat. And so that's what they're doing. And I think it's really a really positive, upbeat story. Yeah.
That's amazing, and that just shows how much like animals and humans can work together, and how important it is that we protect the animals in our world. I'm going to give you guys one of my own, seeing as you can never have too much good news. My personal thing is 2 initiatives that run near where I live in Cabra. One of them is Connecting Cabra, which is a sustainable group that works together. Last week at 5 o'clock in the morning, I got up and we went to a dawn chorus event where we were able to hear birdsong in Talca Valley. So we worked with Birdwatch Ireland, and we were able to hear loads and loads of different birds. Now, in fairness, it was very, very early. I was half asleep, but it was still so amazing. And the other thing, just to throw in an extra, is Community Roots, which is something that's actually run by my mum. It's a garden sharing initiative for people that don't have gardens, and they are matched up with someone that does have the space for it, and it actually creates community. And both of those organisations run so many climate events. Connecting Cabra's Biodiversity Festival is coming up next Saturday, and I'm sure there'll be so many things there for us to listen to and to talk about. So I'm going to stop talking now, seeing as I have waffled on. I know we can cover some very tricky topics, but I hope that this episode was a remedy of some kind, proving that small actions do make a difference, that your decisions matter, and that we can pull together to create a win. Thanks for your stories, panel. Don't forget to head to your podcast platform of choice to hear more from Ecolution, or catch up with our panel videos right here on YouTube. From marine life to upcycled fashion, we're the go-to when it comes to going green. I'm Evie Kenny, going home a little happier after this episode. And if you'd like to make us even happier, make sure to share your good news stories and ideas with us via email at junior@rte.ie. Ecolution!